and I was a big supporter of labor, working families in the city, and I'm always out there fighting for the middle class tax cuts in the city council, helping middle class people, making sure they always get their fair share. And I've always stood with the men and women working in our wonderful city. And I support, manufacturing. The first question dealing with manufacturing. We have to do everything we can to bring manufacturing back into the United States and here in New York 11, which covers Staten Island and Brooklyn. I support initiatives like Make It in America, which I think will really help us bring back manufacturing. We have to work with all community leaders and everyone involved. One issue on the federal level is Build American Bonds Act. I believe if we pass this, we'll boost job growth and modernize American infrastructure. It would help us build our roads, our bridges, bring back jobs, job growth. This is something that could be advantageous to us. And we could also expand broadband and technology and investing in clean energy initiatives. This is where the jobs are of the future. And I believe if we pass the Build American Bonds Act, we can make this happen. In addition to that, I believe we should not reward corporations for shipping jobs overseas. That has to stop. We have to bring back the jobs here. Let's give those corporations incentives to stay here in America and build here in America and manufacture it right here in America. There's the research and development tax credit, which is very, very important because it rewards businesses for making improvements to their products and bringing it forward and incentivizing. But my opponent who I'm running against, he allowed this tax credit to expire. Throughout the world, we're falling behind in research and development. And if we don't fund it and give these tax credits to these corporations, we will fall behind the rest of the world. And we have to act on that now, and now is the time because this will produce jobs. Also want to say that once I'm elected, I will work hard with the Borough President Jim Miato and all the elected officials up here to make sure that we bring back jobs here in Staten Island. Good paying jobs. Jobs that will bring good wages, jobs not just working in stores, but manufacturing jobs. More technology. We have to bring it here right to our home in Staten Island. So that is, the way I will approach representing you in Congress and as far as manufacturing. I always believe I've been a loud advocate for collective bargaining because the backbone of our middle class is made up of union workers from firefighters to nurses, from teachers to sanitation workers. And I'm married to a public school teacher. And I will always stand with them to fight for the right to organize. We cannot afford to go back to a day when workers didn't have rights. My city council record proves it. And when I'm your Congress member, I pledge to continue my support for working families, for the men and women in this wonderful city and this country. I support the unionization of fast food workers. Everyone should have the right to unionize. Let them decide for themselves. And I don't believe New York should be a right-to-work state. As you recognize here, New Yorkers have the benefit of collective organizing that gives a voice to the middle class, and unions lift us all up. Not just their own members, but because of what unions and labor movement has done, we have laws on the books today that protects workers, that protects children from working. This is what it's all about.
Children from working?
We must never forget how far we have come. Development on Staten Island, I'm proud to say I worked with my colleague Debbie Rose. Where's Debbie? I see her right up in the row. She did a great job. And I was glad to be at her side, advising her and working with her. I have a lot of experience in rezoning and working to get projects accomplished. But this one was great. It was 100% in union. And that's something she should be proud of. And in working with her, and working with Diane, and we rezoned Coney Island, which was another one of the most successful rezonings in New York history. We learned a lot, and one thing we learned is that we must work with the people in our communities and work with the unions, and together you could accomplish your goals. And because of that, the apprentice programs that we have going on now in this island, because of the accomplishments of Debbie Rose, it's all laid out in the land use, everything down on paper, so nothing could be going backwards. And we had, I was there at the first meeting when we read, there was hundreds of people signing up for apprentice programs. It was a beautiful sight. Staten Island is signing up to get into these positions. And I just want to say that that's the way rezoning has to go. Development, working together, let the community have a voice, let the elected officials have a voice, and you come together with the unions and you accomplish these great rezonings and, that have been very, very successful in our city. As far as minimum wage, we need someone who's going to go to Congress and fight for the middle class, fight for middle class tax cuts, and raise the minimum wage, and that's what I'm all about. My opponent does not support that. Over time, I have been a consistent advocate for prevailing wage and living wage. That gives men and women a fighting chance to provide for their families and to survive in this city. And I will continue that, always fighting for the workers. The people of this district are our backbone of the city, whether it's firefighters, police officers, teachers, electricians, sanitation workers. Our middle class ensures that our country and our city functions every day. We need to do more to ensure that they have what they need, and we always must work with all of these workers. We must move in the direction of saying it's time for the middle class to get tax cuts. End tax breaks for corporations that ship jobs overseas. Improve our ailing infrastructure by creating, and this will create local jobs.
He said that, right?
And that is what I'm all about. I'm fighting for the worker. I'm going to go to Washington and be a loud voice for the working families of this district. Thank you very much.